Tell me your name and spell it.
My name is Lola, Lola Nelson, Nelson.
Thank you very much. Um, this project is about education and how it's changed over the years. You were born in the 50s.
I was born in 1956.
How would what how was the educational system in your day around that time?
Me being an African American in a school that had not quite segregated itself, I don't remember a lot of being picked out because I was in an all black school.
So there, your generation, your daughter's generation, and then my generation. So there's three different generations there. So what's the difference between all three generations?
My daughter's generation is when things started turning itself around. It was segregated and things was looking better for us educational wise. When my granddaughter started school, it was the most beautiful thing that I could see for its educational turning around because it was a lot of different cultures blended in, and that was what was nice about it. It wasn't just me looking at the same face all the time. You get to see different faces, and that's what I liked about it.
What is now that you have great grandchildren? There is Montessori schools, private schools, and public schools. Um, what would you say is the biggest difference in your eyes between the three different educational systems?
Public education, I feel that they're just there. Some of the teachers, not all of them, are just there to get a check. They're not interested in how the children are learning or if they're even learning. Montessori, I'm not sure of. I guess it's almost like Catholic school because Catholic schools take more time out with the kids. They make sure that they're going to learn something. They're not just going to come out of the school not having learned how to read or count.
Have you noticed a lot now that because you are a supervisor at a cleaning company, have you noticed with a lot of the younger generation that they are missing a couple of things educational wise?
They're missing a whole lot of things educational wise. And mainly, some of them don't know how to read.
How much has that shocked you?
Ooh, a lot because everybody had to learn Spot, the book Spot, but there are kids now that don't even know nothing about that.
Are you shocked at the fact that your great grandchild, Nadiana, cannot read right now? Whereas in when your grandchild was in school, they was able to read at her age.
Yes, and I can't fault it all on the system because some of it is the parents. You have parents who don't want to take the time to make sure that their child is getting a proper education. Where it is in our home, we took the time to make sure it was always somebody there to make sure that my grandkids and my daughter got the education that I felt she was supposed to have to be out here in this world.
Do you think sometimes now they just medicate kids and diagnose them with ADD and ADHD without really properly testing them and or giving them the time to learn?
I think that it's too much medication given to kids, especially when it's got something to do with learning because it gives the teachers time enough to go drink coffee or text or whatever that they do. When in my day, that's the teachers walked around. If you had a problem, you got assigned to a teacher that was actually sitting there to teach you how to read, and help you with your numbers and things. It's shocking to me that the school system even allow a lot of that to go on, and they passing them saying that they qualified when they're not.
Back in your day, was there such thing as testing people to see if they had ADHD or anything, or did they just pass them?
They just passed us. They passed us because I didn't know that I had a problem until I got into junior high school.
Do you think that they need to have more electives in school to make kids more interested in going to school? Like home ec?
I think that they took a lot of the programs out of the school system, and I wouldn't say that they were babysitters, but they were programs to make you want to go to school. I wanted to go to school. I learned how to sew in home economics. I learned how to cook. Some of my cooking came from home economics.
What do you think that they could do to change the educational system? Because a lot of kids are dropping out. What do you think that they could do?
I think it's too late because the system has been stuck in the way that they've stuck themselves in, and it's no turning it back. They could try to bring some of the programs back, and you would get over half of your kids that's in school, they would stay in school. And I honestly believe that they would learn if it was interesting for them to do and it was something that they were looking forward to. They boggle them down with all this homework, but then they don't explain it to them. They come home with all of these books in a book bag, and the first thing you ask them is, well, you sitting down trying to help them, and they don't have no instructions on what's supposed to be done. They just give them a book and tell them to go home with it. And I have seen that with my great grandkids. Not my grandkids, but the great grandkids. Because me personally, I was there with my daughter and with my granddaughters and my grandson. And if they were shy from anything, it was because they needed more help with the program that they were, whatever subject they were taking at the time.
Well, I thank you very much, Miss Lola, for helping with the project. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And I hope the educational program can change itself around because we still got kids that's got to grow up in this world. And the way it's looking right now, we're going to be in a lot of trouble.